Is Ian Lukes. This is the interview project part 2, in which I did an interview with someone outside of the cohort. I interviewed Emily Podlaski. This is for ABA 609, Diversity in Education, which is taught by Professor Verdi. The date is April 23rd, 2023. A brief biography of Emily Podlaski. Emily Podlaski is a teacher in a 6th grade only school. She has lived her entire life in Suffolk County, New York, and lives in Suffolk County with her parents, Jen and Greg, her fiance, Ian, her dogs, Catan, Indy, and Loki, and her 2 guinea pigs, Freddie and Elton. She went to SUNY Old Westbury for undergraduate and got her Bachelor of Science in Teaching. In the process of starting her master's in teaching, she's in the process, of starting her master's in either teaching or psychology. She recently pivoted on strictly teaching, which was her originally intent for graduate school, because she feels she can make a bigger difference in each kid's individual life and would be able to do more as in this role than just as an educator. She's passionate about serving underprivileged students and helping them access the services and education they deserve. In her education and working life, she started off as a student teacher in a self-contained classroom and now works as a sub in both general and special ed classrooms, along as being pulled to assist in the self-contained classroom as well. Cultural groups. Emily identifies as a teacher, a student, a woman, and a member of the Lutheran Church, all of which are very important to her as an individual. Being a teacher, she feels that she can share her wealth of knowledge with students and help them in the best ways she knows how to, both with a passionate and understanding approach to each student as an individual. As a student, she went for undergraduate and now is working on deciding on if she's going to go for her graduate degree in psychology or continue in the education field. As a woman, she feels empowered and is an important group that she's a part of, as she feels that it is important to be able to stand up for rights and equity among men and women in the workforce. And as a member of the Lutheran Church, her belief in God and her connection with the Lutheran Church is something that drives her and keeps her in her faith and also helps her in her professional life, as her connection with God helps drive her as an educator. Cultural characteristics. As a student and teacher, education is very important. This is tied with her faith in God, helps shape her views and culture, education, and how she views disability. She feels she has faced very little, if not no bias or prejudice. In her family, both parents worked, one as a teacher and other in fiber optics. Education was always important, as she was to become the first member of her family with a college degree. And not only did she reach that precipice, she also was able to working towards her master's degree, which would be another first in her family. Both her parents are providers and leaders in her home and are viewed as equals. Them and their connection with their daughter and God are the main foundations of her home, both growing up and continues to be as she lives with her parents and builds the foundation for their family there. With her mother working with students with disabilities, both as a para and an aide, Emily grew up with a sense of respect and understanding of disability. She was often brought in to assist with different things and different events, and always was able to get a broad understanding of what it meant to grow up in different ways and able to gain a better understanding of what she can do to help out. Barriers in relation to culture. Emily feels she hasn't faced any specific barriers in her culture in terms of growing up. However, as a professional, she does feel she has faced sexism in the workplace through both microaggressions and at times feeling undermined and not always feeling respected by her peers. Strategies for overcoming these barriers. Emily overcomes these barriers by being a hard worker and ensuring no one can base any conclusion about her, both personally or professionally, through anything other than her exemplary work and commitment to her students. Commonly held misconceptions. Commonly held misconceptions that Emily feels have to do with women in education. They are not there to be a daycare provider or a mother. There is so much more that they can provide. Similar to their male colleagues, they went to school and have the education to be able to teach science, mathematics, or any other field that any other person could teach to the students through a higher education. She feels that there is a bit of disparity in the pay in terms of equal pay for being able to take care of the amount of children that they take care of for school, and also there being a disparity in the pay that men and women get in the education field. Comfortable work environment. Emily feels the most comfortable work environment is one that she feels supported by her coworkers and that of administration, where students are treated with respect and dignity, and she's able to be part of a cooperative group in which everyone in the group is working towards a common goal. This common goal specifically for Emily is ensuring that any student, no matter of their background, receives all the services and all the things that they need in order to have the most successful educational career. This includes being able to help students from a underprivileged background and providing their families with any other supports that the school or district can and will provide. Experience with discrimination. As discussed previously, Emily hasn't really faced discrimination in any form other than that of sexism. Though this is something that is very important, she understands that there are other types of discrimination and prejudice that exist in the world. She talks about her having the ability to be able to grow up in a predominantly white area with a predominant white school district and cultures around her. She's able to grow up in an area where she was not the minority, and there wasn't a lot of minorities to really base any decisions or discriminations about. For herself, there wasn't any discrimination felt because she felt that she was part of the norm. She went to church on Sundays. She grew up as a teacher, which is something in the area that is a lot of people become. And she is part of a family and a woman in the society that exists for today. So there's not a lot of discrimination she feels she has faced. Review and reflection. I feel that based off this information and the interview with Emily and the things that we discussed, both good and bad, both biases, strategies for overcoming barriers, characteristics of her culture that she feels she belongs to, and different backgrounds based upon her family, their education, and her own education, and then the expectations in her household based upon religion, education, and views on disabilities and diversity. I feel I'm able to use this information to become more aware on these issues like sexism in the education field. I can make sure I am an open listener and respect anyone's opinion regardless of sex, race, or religion. By considering things like how the needs of others and my clients may change based on their sex or gender, I can ensure I am providing services that are truly individualistic and structured to work for any specific client, no matter what. Thank you so much, and I hope you all have a great night.